My name is Alex Cintado, also known as Mon0, and I am the head coach for the varsity team at Robert Morris University for League of Legends. So I've been playing video games pretty much since I was a kid. I started with backyard baseball, and then when I was about 16 years old, I got my mom's hand-me-down MacBook. And since I really couldn't play a whole lot of PC games at the time, I just played a lot of competitive Pokemon online. And that's that was my introduction to competitive gaming in general. I played so much competitive Pokemon, I made YouTube videos about it, and it kind of got me interested in the strategy and what makes good players and how to create good teams in Pokemon of all games. When I was 17 or 18, I got my first PC on my own for college, and I downloaded League of Legends because that's what my friends were all playing, and since then that's just kind of led me down the road to be playing League for almost 6 years now, so that's pretty much where I started. I think esports is important to me because it's more about the people instead of the games itself. I mean, I love League of Legends and I love other games too, but when it comes to esports, I think the best part about League of Legends esports is the fact that it brings people together for the sake of their own reasons and the sake of their own passions and their dreams and ambitions and all those things. I see my job as a mediator to channel all of the passion and the desire to achieve something in your life and find meaning in competing. And my philosophy on that is that esports is important because it's about the experience. Like any other sport or competition or just life journey, it's about the journey. It's not necessarily about what you do, it's about how you do it. So that is why I love esports. So I've only been involved with collegiate esports since the beginning of 2018. So I'm rather new to the whole experience. I know RMU has a vast history of esports at this school. And when it comes to the role of esports in the collegiate scene, I see it as a stepping stone, as an amateur platform, where it's a more realistic option to the amateur scene without the setbacks that a lot of the amateur teams have to deal with. For example, a lot of amateur teams have to deal with financing, finding places for the players to compete and stay and practice and all of those things. And with college esports coming up, I view that as a really solid meeting ground for amateur scene ambitious players and coaching staff too, and a way for players to develop themselves to be ready for pros, or at least have a way to compete while they're learning and doing other things in their life. I think the future of esports has more to deal with the direction that a lot of the schools want to take. I think that in order for esports to succeed, I think that the administration and the people who are financing esports have to make sure that they're responsible and truly understand the intent. A lot of schools are using this as like kind of a marketing thing, and I think that's great, but I think they do need to accommodate their players and their staff with the proper resources in order for them to do their own jobs. I think a lot of the future of esports depends on how well the developmental systems function in the future. Right now we're seeing high schools and a lot of other colleges get involved, and I think that's one of the most important stepping stones, but I think that esports will fail if we're gonna continue, or if companies are gonna continue throwing money at it, and therefore I don't see a bright future for it. However, I do think there's a way for it to work out, but I wouldn't be the right person to ask because I'm not really involved with that. But hey, I don't know. I think my ultimate esports goal would be, or at least my immediate one, would be to be a head coach for a League of Legends team in the professional scene, so like in NALCS. However, I kind of want to stay on board with esports, or at least in an environment related to esports in the long run, like 20, 30 years from now, and I know that I wouldn't be able to take on the stresses of being a head coach for 20, 30 years. So I definitely want to try to help other coaches learn how to coach League of Legends or any other esports game in the future. I think the teaching of coaching is something that isn't really understood now, and it's something that I think is necessary for other coaches to thrive off of later down the road. So I'd love to be a advisor or a mediator in terms of coaching other coaches. So Coach Daddy, pretty much.